I don't know, it got me thinking as to why this particular profile picture had 100 likes. And I was like, well, is it the funky shirt? Because it is a pretty freaking funky shirt. I don't think it is. But it could be. Then I was like, well, it's just a selfie of me in my room, which is kind of like, it's kind of sad because it's just me with a camera in my room pretending that I have friends, which I kind of do. I have 300 friends on Facebook, but I don't really like many of them, but that's just another story entirely. And then I was like, well, I'm not even climbing Kilimanjaro or going to Japan or going interrailing. Like, I'm not doing any of that. I'm just in my room. And I'm not even partying either. Not even partying, because that's what most people put up, right? Like pictures of you like hanging out with your mates and smoking weed and like getting super drunk, like, because that's just like a cool thing to do. Whereas I don't think it is. I would much rather have a cup of tea, gluten-free biscuit, and have a good book to read in bed, along with SYZYGY the bear. But hey, I actually went to a party the other day, shock horror. Charlie went to a party. Whoa. Who fucking knew? And it was actually like, it wasn't really like my friend's house, but, well, it was my friend's house, but she was like, you should have a party, Charlie, because you've just moved into this new place and it would be super cool. And I was like, no. But hey, I've been living in this house for like 3 years now. That's like a long time. 3 years of living on your own in Egham. Sounds a bit depressing, really, but actually, Mr. and Mrs. Audience, like, living on your own isn't that bad a deal, and it isn't that big a deal. I mean, to be fair with you, I struggled at first. I really did, because I used to go to a boarding school, and in that boarding school, you'd like be constantly surrounded by people. Even if you did not want to be surrounded by people, you would be surrounded by people. And so living on my own for the first time was kind of a weird feeling, because you just didn't have anyone around you. But, Mr. and Mrs. Audience, I kind of thought that I should do a vlog to kind of just be like, living on your own is super cool and you should all do it. So prepare yourselves for this vlog. Okay, so the best reason for living on your own, Mr. and Mrs. Audience, is that you can dance around in your underwear to like Whitney Houston or Stevie Wonder or Earth, Wind and Fire or whoever, and no one is there to see you wobble or your jiggly bits or anything really. I mean, the neighbours might have something to say, but I don't really care about them. Number two, you can fart wherever you want. Now, let's be honest, Mr. and Mrs. Audience, we all do it. We are all gross human beings. Human beings are really gross. And no one is there to smell it if you're living on your own. Number three, one of the best reasons is that you can eat whatever you want. Like, I tend to eat like huge bars of chocolates, Mr. and Mrs. Audience. It's a really bad habit. And no one is there to judge me because I'm living on my own. Number four, I think we're on number four. Number four is that I can come back in the middle of the night after a party, or like bring a guy back and not worry about like the noise I'm making. Or I can even like get up at random hours of the day and do yoga at like 2 o'clock in the morning because I don't sleep, and that's a cool thing to do. And the last reason that living on your own is a great thing to do is that you can watch whatever you want on TV. You do not have to argue with your sibling over the remote, which happens a lot when I'm back at home. But you don't have to do that because you're on your own, you have your sofa to yourself, and you can, you know, choose whatever you want to watch. If I want to watch a random documentary on platypuses, I can totally do that, like, without no one judging me. So there we go, Mr. and Mrs. Audience. Those are the reasons why you should all try living on your own for a bit. I mean, it is a bit weird at first, and maybe you guys can, like, comment below and let me know what your experiences are of living on your own, because it is a really daunting thing. But I have kind of lied to you, just a smidge. It's kind of a white lie, because I do live with this guy. This is SYZYGY the bear. Say hey to SYZYGY the bear. SYZYGY the bear has a very long story with it. And I wanted to share that story with you, Mr. and Mrs. Audience, just because it's a bit embarrassing as a 21-year-old woman to have a bear in your bed with you. But I'm here to inform you, Mr. and Mrs. Audience, that that's okay. You are totally, totally allowed to still have a companion. Now, a couple of years ago, I was at university and I freaked out big time. I spent a whole day writing one sentence for one essay. One sentence. It was great. And my mum was like, I'm really, really worried. And I was like, me too, Mum. And she was like, well, I'm coming down, we're going to have a cup of tea. So she did, and then she brought Mr. Teddy Bear with me, and with her even. And I was like, Mum, that's just really embarrassing, don't do that. But actually, it was a really good thing for her to do, because this guy has been through tough times with me. Like, I've cried into him, and that's been fine, and like, he hasn't cared about that, and like, I can eat a whole tub of Ben & Jerry's and he's not like freaking out, and he's just always there, no matter what, Mr. and Mrs. Audience. And maybe you guys should comment below and like tell me about your like stuffed toy companions, like even if you're like 99 or like 5, like everyone has to have a companion, and mine is SYZYGY the bear. Say hey, SYZYGY the bear. You guys have actually been commenting quite a lot though, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was quite shocked at all the comments that you've made, and I just thought that maybe I should do a vlog just acknowledging all these comments, because there are so many of them. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I was really shocked, and I was really kind of touched by like all of these comments. Now, because there were so many of them, Mr. and Mrs. Audience, I had to kind of write them on like these sheets of paper. I hope you don't mind. So I'm going to be reading from them. But yeah, bring it on. So here are some of your lovely comments. So Beatrice with a Z says, who else is forever wishing that they could be Charlie's friend? Imagine all the movie and pizza nights. We could totally be friends, Beatrice. I mean, you do spell your name with a Z, which is super cool in itself. And I do love movies. The only problem is that I technically can't eat pizza because I'm intolerant to gluten and dairy. But we can solve for that, I'm sure. Georgie, hey Georgie. Georgie says, I've been looking forward to this. I've missed your vlog so much. I'm glad you've been looking forward to this. Like, really glad. Like, that makes me feel like I should keep on doing these vlogs. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep on doing them. Shannon. Hi, Shannon. Shannon says, anyone else obsessed with Charlie's eyes? They're so gorgeous. That's actually really sweet of you to say, because I actually did a makeup vlog like a couple of vlogs ago. I don't know whether you know this, but if you don't, have a look and then you can get gorgeous eyes. Oh yeah. Who else we got? So many. Sammy. I don't know how to explain this in just a paragraph, but you are my biggest inspiration and I love you so much, and you are so gorgeous and you are always in such great mood. You help. Gosh, that's like a really big thing to say, Sammy. And I'm glad I help. I mean, maybe I should say thank you to you guys too. Thank you for being here, because you didn't have to watch this. So thanks. Who else we got? Someone called Alexandra. Alexandra says, Charlie uploads a video equals drops everything. Don't drop anything on your toe, Alexandra, because that is really, really painful. Really painful. What else we got? Omar. Such a great day when Charlie posts, star emoji. I'm appreciating the emoji. We do love a bit of emoji, don't we? We all do. We all do. Let's admit it. Let's admit it. So, there we go, Mr. and Mrs. Audience. Those are my comments that you guys have sent in, and I just want to say that I'm going to keep on doing these vlogs, and I hope you keep on watching. So remember, get subscribing down there or wherever it is, and like this video, and make sure all your friends watch, because that would be super cool. Anyways, much love from Charlie. Bye.